Yeah! Welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps. We've got a great show today. Lots to talk about. Joe Biden, who would have figured, caught COVID again in what 2 weeks? Wow, that's amazing. And we'll be talking about that. Plus, Biden says no to finishing up the wall down in Arizona and, the southern border. He's saying no to that. And also, we're going to talk about Joe Manchin, his little deal with Chucky Schumer he's going to vote yes on not the Build Back Better bill, but something worse. It's the green energy deal that he is going to sign on to. And we'll talk more about that in a bit. So let's welcome my co-host all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Let's welcome Lloyd Mendenhall.
Hello. Thank you. Hey, Art, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week with the news. You just I've been shaking my head, just wondering like what the hell's going on. Judy the other night, because we watch everything on our Amazon Fire because I just don't like what's on cable, and we generally don't watch the news. The other night she wanted to watch the news. She watched 15 minutes of it, and she goes, "What the hell? Turn that off. Those people are crazy."
Yep.
I said, that's why I don't watch the news, because it's been a
because
crazy
most
week.
of it is just BS.
Yeah, I saw a cartoon the other day somebody sent me, and it says the old man was sitting there reading his newspaper, he's griping, he says, these papers used to be twice as big, and she says that's because they used to print both sides of the story.
Yeah. Yep.
Hello,
that's
Steve.
True. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
We got Steve, Mickey McH, Mike of Tech Arc Drone Guy, Chris Wedgeworth, and that's about it. So
yeah, it's
we'll get more. They kind of
filter in
later on.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I heard Biden got COVID again, so he's and
he's been inoculated 4 times and still.
And they supposedly, they said, well, and they said that treatment that they used on, I forgot which one it was. They said there's a chance of a rebound of it because it lasts for, if you don't isolate, and that's where his problem was. He was in there when this first started. They were making people wait 14 days before they got out mixing in the crowds. He waited 5, jumped out there and started shaking hands again, spreading it around and getting it back.
Yep.
Not an intelligent move.
No.
I mean, even when you got the flu, you try not to get around people for a couple of weeks, just because, the flu is, and this is what this is, a glorified, deadlier version of the flu.
It's the coronavirus has mutated to the point where it's pretty much the flu. I mean,
yeah, and I really think, just like the flu shots, I think that probably by this, all this disturbing news is going to make me start drinking. Yeah, I that's right. Yeah, I really think in the next year or two, probably once we get the knotheads cleared out, and get up, Art. Once we get the knotheads cleared out, and they start getting some people who actually use their brains besides something to play football with or something, I think they'll develop a shot like a flu shot that you take once a year. It'll be a flu shot. It'll be, current flu and the current corona. And I think it'll work like that. And I think that's what they should have been doing all along, instead of coming up with this, we're going to cure it with one shot. That ain't going to help. That's not.
Yeah, because viruses always mutate. They're always constantly change.
And they have no clue what the long-term
flu shots
never
work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but he just, I don't know what, he obviously was not, you know, maybe he was listening to Dr. Fauci or something, and they told him, yeah, go out, have fun, party, you got a couple of days rest and you
Yeah.
go back out and you recharge your batteries now. Run out there, make
Boy,
yourself
those
sick
masks
again.
were really working good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, they of course problem was he wasn't wearing them. So
Well, they
yeah,
don't work anyway. That's
no, they
that's
don't.
all BS.
I said that from the beginning because
Mm-hmm.
a virus is so small. They're such a small little thing. And my analogy was is if you can smell a fart through that, you can get the virus through it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know,
But
that's
on the other side, it does prevent, the spray. When
this.
someone
Yeah, it
sneezes.
presents. It does.
Yeah.
It does prevent that, but it doesn't. It doesn't help. And
Right.
even that isn't necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just got a thing on my phone that apparently the governor of New York has declared a state of emergency for monkeypox.
Oh, kind of reminds me of that disco song, Monkey Pots.
Yeah,
Monkey
exactly.
Pots,
Yeah.
Monkey
I mean,
Pots, Monkey Pots.
when you look at the way it initially was spread, is through sexual contact. It makes you think, and it was
Mm-hmm.
usually through at the beginning. It was through homosexual sexual
Oh,
contact. That's where and
yep.
then it spread. That means there's a bunch of people in New York
Uh,
banging a lot of other people.
you gotta stop hanging around the back door. Yeah.
That's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yep. No entrance in the rear.
Yeah, for a respirator to work, it must be fitted correctly, starting with a clean shave. Nobody ever
Yep.
mentions that, and you're right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing is you have to wear 5 stacked on top of each other. That's about the
Yeah.
truth of it
Mm-hmm.
too. You might as
Yeah.
well wear a hazmat suit.
Oh, just take a shopping bag and put it over your head. I mean, that'll
Tie
stop
it
it.
real tight. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it'll stop the virus dead.
I like what Chris Wedgeworth said about my comment about
Nut to
monkeypox, nut to butt. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It's. I tell you what. It's. You have 50 masks he's going to tape on his truck for election day. Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, like I said, it's been some. It's been some crazy news. Another quick update. I just saw Bill Russell, who was a basketball player.
Right.
He passed away today.
Oh.
Yeah, Bill Russell, the defensive anchor of Boston Celtics dynasty, dies at 88. He's 88 when he died. When I was a
Wow.
kid, my sister, who lived out, the younger of my two sisters, she lived out in California, and she sent me a basketball and a basketball hoop. She sent it all the way from California. She could have just had mom, but she wanted to make sure the gift came to me. I was the baby in the family, so they tend to spoil me. And it was a Bill Russell signed basketball. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So that's why when I
And
saw that, to be honest with you, I thought Bill Russell died years ago,
yeah, yeah, me too.
but yeah, but I remember him playing
Well, it was that
basketball.
Nipsey Russell.
Well, Nipsey Russell died years ago too,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
I think
Well, and
I think
also
Nipsey was
who
a little
passed
shorter.
away just recently was Tony Dow, who
Yes,
finally
David
did
Beaver.
die after the
Yeah,
the first one, first
the first
announcement.
hoax. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. So
yeah.
he's
Just
battling pneumonia, and then on top of that, cancer.
cancer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's but it just goes to show you. I mean, I remember as a kid, uh, people like Bob. Well, not Bob Hope because he died not that many years ago because he lived so damn long. But I remember Bing Crosby dying on the golf course. I remember stuff. I was an adult when he died, but I remember even younger than that when people started dying, and my parents talked about. Oh, I remember watching them at the movie theater back during, first movie I went to, and I think like 35 or something. My mom had gone to see somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and these stars started. Well, now we're at that age, and then back 20 years ago, there was another group of them dying off, and now some of these Tony Dow, of course, the guy that played Batman, he died several years ago, and
Yep.
as a matter of fact, when they had the big memorial for him, it was in downtown Los Angeles, and they declared it Batman Day, and they had the guy that played Robin come down there and speak, and Batman's family come in and speak, and Jeff Dunham drove the Batmobile down there. He had the Batmobile.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
and he drove it down there for that. So
Julie Newmars and Burt Ward, didn't Burt? Yeah, he's still alive.
He's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive.
They're the last two that are left.
What about it was the other Catwoman.
Eartha
Julie
Kitt.
No, she died. There was a third one.
Julie, Meredith.
Meredith Baxter.
Yeah.
Is she dead?
Yes.
Okay,
I couldn't remember. Let me do a Google search. Make sure we got.
We're way off topic today, but
So
we'll get back to the politics in a minute. But, yeah, it's been some crazy stuff going on.
Right.
There's they've been we talk about the crime level going up. One of the biggest crimes right now going on in Oklahoma is the stealing of catalytic converters. I mean, they're literally coming into your house at night, cutting them off. Well, one of the Ford dealerships up in Tulsa is, and it's apparently something the state's supporting, or they're getting ready to. But they're having people come in and they're etching an ID and registering it with the state, so that if it gets stolen, they can look it up and find out. So, yeah.
Oh, it was Lee Merriweather. Yeah. Meredith Baxter, she played on Growing Pains.
Yeah. Lee
Merriweather. Was married to Dave Burney. Yeah. And then she later became a lesbian. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Alrighty, so let's get back to politics. So the other Biden blunder was for a while there it looked like the Democrats were going to, finish up the wall, and Biden stepped in and said, nope, we're not going to do that. So the Democrats are continuously going to be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, and I said here last week that if anybody can lose this election, it would be the Republicans.
Yep.
And I noticed that a poll at the first part of last week, for some reason, showed the Democrats were starting to edge back up. But I think by the end of the week, that's, I think with what Manchin has done, and I think a lot of people are like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The number one issue argued about was abortion. Of course, I read on Facebook, some gal that's a friend of my niece, she wrote up there about, well, the Republicans took away the right to abortion. No, the Republicans did not. Nope. You can get an abortion if your state allows it. If you don't like that, move to another state. It's just that simple.
Or not just move, but you can just go to another state. I mean,
you can
know
just
what?
Drive
and that's going to be the new business that's going to pop up. It's going to be a boutique business of travel agents for people who women that want to get an abortion.
Yeah,
and starting to grow here in Colorado.
And the whole thing is it's real simple. Don't be having unprotected sex.
Yep.
If you don't want to get pregnant. I mean, that's the simple part of it. This is, yes, it's your body if you want to do something with it, but you need to protect it a little bit, like not sleeping around and getting, Now, in case of rape and incest and stuff like that, that's a different story. I feel differently about it there.
Yeah, I do.
But, or in case of saving the woman's life, that's a different story too. But this abortion on demand just because you couldn't keep your damn legs closed to me is just absolutely ridiculous. And it shows the moral.
You know what? There are tons of childless couples who would love to adopt a child.
Yeah. There's an adoption is always, if rather than abortion, go with adoption. But to prevent the pregnancy, go with abstinence, or get birth
your
control,
tubes tied, or go on the pill, or
get an IUD or something
IUD.
like that.
Yep.
Now, speaking of IUDs, this is something a little personal, but I did not know, but sometimes those things can be dangerous, and they can actually shift and embed. My daughter-in-law just had to have a hysterectomy because her IUD malfunctioned and embedded into the uterus, and they had to remove it. The only way they could get it out, So,
yeah.
And of course, she wasn't planning on having any more kids, anyways. And she says this will make life easier, anyways. But because she's 46 now, and or will be she's 45 or 46. I can't remember. I think she'll be 46
so she's
in October.
Pretty close to.
Yeah, she's close to that time, anyways. Yeah, she was already starting to notice some of it, but there's still plenty of ways out there to prevent that. And if you decide if you do get pregnant for some reason, you decide you don't want the kid, well, give it up for adoption. There's and there are a lot of couples out there that would love to adopt. So that's the way you deal with that. Don't blame the Republicans. Conservatives wanted it and felt that it was right, but it really comes down to this was a states' right issue all along. It should have never been a federal issue.
And
these idiots.
If you want abortion in your state, vote for the people that will bring
people who get
abortion.
Bring it, yeah.
Or move to a state, or
but they're too busy listening to the View and people like that are spouting their idealism, ideologies that are so far out of whack that the average American's going, what the hell are they talking about? The ones that know how to use their brain,
right? If you think about it, the only people that are watching that stupid show are people from the East and West Coast, from those liberal areas, or I should take that back. Major urban centers, like big cities and that are usually predominantly Democrat and poorly run.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're all raising hell because they got such a high crime rate, and they're wondering how it happened. And they're raising hell. Why is it this? Well, these are the people you elected. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yep.
But yeah. And we got a little off topic there too, but yeah, Biden and not building the wall. He's really, I don't know what he's clueless. I mean, he truly is. I see him as a man as just he's just not playing with a full deck.
Yeah. And I heard they changed the name of the place where he fell off the bike, calling it Brandon Falls.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Yep.
It makes sense. Yeah, it's just sad. I mean, that he doesn't, and well, of course, then again, go along with that. Of course, we're not in a recession because they changed the meaning of a recession. And that's where their secret lies. If something bad, if a word is good, but talks about, especially when it's like the word conservative is now considered equal to a Nazi. or white supremacists.
Or
If you're
white supremacist.
bigot, white supremacists, and
Sexist, homophobe, and
yeah, all of that fits in, because you're a conservative.
And,
Xenophobes, yeah. But so they changed their dictionary. So now they've changed the meaning of recession. Of course, they changed the meaning of what a woman is. They can't even.
Yep.
And that's the other thing. How in the hell do they know whether it's that it's not a recession? They don't even know if it's a man or a woman. I mean, they can't. They can't give the. How can they give the definition of a recession or change the definition of a recession when they can't even give the definition of a woman? Right. And it's real simple. I mean, as I said,
it makes it harder on us guys dating, because now when we date a woman, we have to ask them, so how long have you been a woman?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I need a I need a check on, to make sure this is a good date. Would you lift your skirt?
Yeah.
That's going to create a lot of problems,
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, you don't want to end up with a ginger with nuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's their thing. They just changed the definition of everything.
I mean, it's right out of 1984. Remember, they changed the meaning of words and stuff. Oh God.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. That's part of the whole ploy. And of course now, like I said, we've got it's just crazy. And of course, I don't understand. I'm trying to keep myself on topic, so I'm trying to move into the next one.
So the traditional definition of a recession is 2 or more quarters of 0 to minus GDP growth, and that's the traditional. Now they're saying, well, the GDP has gone down, but you know what? Unemployment is still good. Yeah, but that's a lagging indicator, because eventually, that's unemployment is going to start ticking up.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Art, I need to step away for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, I'll take over. And so Lloyd is taking care of stuff, and so it's just amazing. Yes, this last quarter, it was negative, but not as bad as the quarter before, but it's still 2 quarters of a negative number. And if you go back and look at the Obama administration, there were a couple times in his administration where he had 0 to negative GDP growth. And then after that, the growth was so minuscule, it was barely above 1%. And that's not a strong economy. Usually when we have a recession, we have what's called a V-shaped recession, where once we hit the bottom, then we have a dramatic uptick. But under Obama, it just went down and it just kind of trickled back up. But after Donald Trump got elected in 2016, then that peak, it went way up. I mean, we had record numbers of minorities being employed, and the participation rate was going up, and the economy was going like gangbusters until the pandemic hit. And hopefully after that, we have learned something from that we're never going to shut down the economy just because some people got sick. We just can't do it anymore, because and we can't just when we have a pandemic, and if we do shut down, don't don't flood the market with don't start printing up money, because that's how we got into this hole to begin with. All right, Lloyd is back, and we'll pick up from there, and hopefully he'll stay on topic. All right, there we go. So I see that you agree with that, and
yeah, yeah.
I we but I
Yeah,
bet you any money that come this fall, you're going to start seeing the media saying, "Oh, the COVID numbers are up. Oh, we might have to start shutting down." But it's a midterm election, and they'll say, "No, no, we can't do that because
yeah.
we're already fucked anyway."
Well, it's
So
like New York is the governor's already declared a state of emergency over monkeypox. That's another thing.
monkeypox.
Yeah, it's like okay, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but that's
It's
just in New York City.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean, is
know.
this really a widespread thing throughout the
Yeah,
state?
I actually looked it up and saw how it spreads, and it's getting to the point where it can spread by touch, but you got to be sitting there, playing with yourself or
Oh,
something before you
oh,
can spread it by touch.
yeah,
You
yeah,
go to the bathroom, wash your hands. A lot of this crap could just be
yeah.
dealt with if you just wash your hands
I'm,
after you get through
I'm glad
taking
we
care of
stayed on
business.
topic.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, back to the economy. But that's a point though. We get another thing like that.
Right.
They want these diseases out there so that we can, so it keeps the economy under their thumb.
Yeah, keep scaring the people, and that way they have more control over the public. By scaring them. And I still not as much as I did before, but you still occasionally see people still wearing a mask, walking
yeah,
outside by
yeah,
themselves.
yeah. I saw a guy out in the parking lot when I was, I just, I don't crowd up on people, but then I don't anyways. When I get into a store and stuff,
Yeah,
I don't like
you're
people
in that
crowding up on me.
wheelchair. You're saying, "Get the hell out of my way!
Yeah,
Coming
yeah, yeah,
through."
yeah, and that's it. And I won't crowd up on people because, you know, I've seen those people and I've had to tell them a few times. You're sitting there getting ready to use your debit card, and they get right up next to you, and I look at them. I said, when I'm through paying for this and when I'm through with this, then you can come stand in my place. Otherwise, would you step the hell back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm sorry. Well, then, and I was that way before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did, Mike B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike B.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that destroys our economy. I'm still staying on
Yeah.
topic.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, it does. And you know, I said, and I think it was in late 2019, early 2020. I, all these Democrats, when Donald Trump passed the the tax cuts, all the Democrat-run states, they decide, you know what? We're going to counter that. We're going to raise tax.
Yeah.
And right then and there, I said, those Democrats are going to figure a way to tank the recovery so they could blame it on Donald Trump.
Right. And, it's like Mickey McH says there, Trump reopened the economy in May 2020 on the federal level. Unfortunately, Democrats intentionally shut down everything they could on the state and local levels for intentionally destroy the economy. And, anything that's been wrong with the economy for the last year and a half it's all been Trump's fault. Now, he hasn't been in office for a year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and even if it takes 6 months to a year for programs to kick in, for results from when a change is made, well, it seems like even if it took a year, which it doesn't, it usually takes anywhere from 4 to 6 months before you see a shift after a federal change like that. But Biden's been in office for at least 6 months longer than that, 7 months. We're coming up on the 1st of August, almost 8 months now. So it's like, it's and It's just that they're too busy blaming Trump to think up of. They don't have anything to offer. That's the problem. And I guarantee you, though, the Republicans better have their crap together if we take over the House and maybe the Senate. Yep. Because if we don't have anything to offer, come 2024, I don't care if it's the monkey that flew in Sputnik, is running for office. He'd win.
It was a monkey in Sputnik.
No, it was a monkey, and I think they sent the monkey up in one of the Mercury. Things. Whatever. If the monkey from the Mercury program should run for president, he would win against anybody we put up there. If we don't hold our elected leaders accountable for the next few years, we better do something. We better have a plan to go in there and do something. Otherwise, we'll just, like I said, we'll lose it. We'll lose it in 2024. It doesn't matter who's running.
Yep, that's right. We, for the love of God, don't make Kevin McCarthy Speaker of the House. Please don't do that. Get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. And someone else besides McConnell. We need to get rid of the turtle. We need he's getting old. We need some new blood to be the Senate Majority Leader.
What we need in the Republican Party drastically is a good, strong, middle-aged or younger leader that can that even if let's say we win the House this time, but we lose it in 2024. If he's at least the minority leader or the minority whip, come the next election when we get the power back, should we get it back, or there needs to be somebody up there that has longevity, that can be there for at least the 12 years, which is all they should serve anyways.
Yeah.
But we need to have. Our problem is we
sorry about that, Adrian. He likes to complain. He's kind of the other Chuck Kovac. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Ooh.
All right, you're now blue, Adrian.
Yeah, it's but yeah, if we don't, like I said, if we don't come in there at the end of this after November, if we don't come in there 1st of January and really, and don't try, their job isn't to let's try and impeach, Kamala or Biden. Let's not go that game. Your job is get in there and do something with our economy to try and, cut off the purse strings to a lot of these programs, get rid of some of them, clean house,
Yeah, Mike.
Can't have Adrian running around as a white.
Yeah, he's blue now. What are you talking about?
He is now. Yeah, he is now. But he wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if we don't have something to do with the economy when they, all these guys spouting all they want, or all the pundits are saying, yeah, it looks like they're going to take the House, it's going to be close, but, it may, blah, 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 blah.
I don't think it's going to be close. I think we're going to win a lot of seats. Now, the Senate, I think it'll be 54-46.
Yeah.
53-47. Somewhere around.
Something like that,
but, to that point, we could talk about the deal that Joe Manchin made with Chucky Schumer. And the things that I'm hearing, he made a deal with Shumer, and Shumer said, hey, you know what? Biden's not going to be the nominee. We'll make you the nominee. If you go along with this deal, we'll make sure you're the nominee, and you could be the president.
Yeah, well, they had to do something to keep him from switching parties, because he was they'd pushed him so much. He was to that point. He was being invited to join the Republicans. He would have been a
moderate,
kind
of like Susan
moderate
Collins,
yeah. But they still don't have it. They still haven't passed that they still got one senator that's still holding out.
Yeah, Kristen Cinema.
Cinema is still holding out. So Arizona, yeah. So it's it's all right now. It's all smoke and mirrors. They're trying to, and he may have said, "Yeah, I'll vote for that," and just trying to get him off his back long enough for him to say, when the vote comes, say, I just can't stand behind it. Click.
Yeah, and that's a possibility. As well.
I have quite a bit of respect for Joe Manchin. I'm a little disappointed in this, but I hadn't heard the part about him being offered the nomination.
Yeah, that's one of the rumors I've been.
Well, I tell you what, it would be a hell of a lot better than anybody else they've had up there for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw.
But here's the deal: that bill will add another $900 billion
to the deficit.
Yeah, it's not $1 trillion.
No, it's not $1 trillion. 900 billion.
But they say it's going to be 900. It's not going to be that. It's going to be over $1 trillion.
Oh yeah,
and it's not going to pay off the deficit. It's not going to lower the deficit. It's just more money.
All it's going to do is lose more American jobs because those companies are going to start going out. The ones that came back, that Trump brought back into making stuff in the United States, are going to start leaving because of the taxes they're putting on businesses. They're going to say, screw this,
Yep.
And it's just like they don't seem to have the slightest conception of. Yeah, Manchin has always caved, and in the end, he usually does.
All right, Adrian, I sent you a link if you want to pop in. Also, want to show. Here are some of the new trends in Oklahoma that I want to show you. So we'll share this screen, and so here's the new trend in styles here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma bungee cord suspender.
Yeah. And you want to know something? I would not be surprised.
There you go. Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Party in the front, business in the back.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
There you go.
I personally have not seen any of those yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them. There's a few guys around here. I think like,
Mel.
Hey. I need to call him. I haven't heard from him.
Rodney.
And something else. Yeah, Rodney. Yeah, he
Rodney Bell. Yeah.
Speak him. But Rodney's from Oklahoma.
Yep, that's right.
He grew up in Tulsa. There. Matter of fact, his cousin graduated high school with Judy.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. I finally got me a belt that's good enough that I don't have to wear suspenders now. I got
Yeah, I finally got a belt too.
Yeah. Well, I had a belt, but it was a stretch belt, and I carry my gun all the time. So what I ended up getting was an actual service belt, which is a web belt, and it's got Velcro on it, and it adjusts. I mean, really well, and it forms. So once you get it, it's stretched out and working a little bit, it sits just right, and it hangs on, and I can put my gun on. It doesn't. Yeah, my britches ain't falling off because my. Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, so I did want to say one thing. Have you heard of EVMUX?
EDM.
Yeah, it's called
EVMUX. No.
EVMUX. Okay. It is a StreamYard. It is a StreamYard alternative.
Oh, okay.
And their prices right at the same, but they're free. Has got a lot of things that you don't get on StreamYards. So they're
Oh,
a lot of people are and believe it or not, I actually heard I was listening to StreamYard's live program, and this guy kept saying in the chat, he says, "Well, are they going to offer this because EVMUX offers it in their free app, and are they going to offer this because EVX offers this, and so I looked in, I thought, well, what is this EVMUX? So I typed it in there and brought it up, and it works just almost identical to StreamYard's. So,
cool. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, so I may try it tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to play around with it a little bit, but so it offers a lot of things that they don't offer on StreamYards.
Right.
And it's if you pay for a year, it's $20 a month. If you pay for it by the month, it's $25. It's the same price as what StreamYards is, but even their free package has got a lot of features on it. So, awesome. And I think if you pay for it, it actually broadcasts in 1080.
Oh, cool.
So.
Also, who knows what kind of deal Shumer made? I mean, that's most obvious.
Obvious, yeah, is that they would offer it,
but they may have told him, hey, that committee that you really like to be on. I don't know.
That's the way all these programs are passed. Is they do they either take you off of a committee, or they put you on one to get you
or some least desirable committee
or put you on
that has no significance to anything. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what's wrong with American politics. Is we got all these, every congressman goes up there is affected by some sort of special interest or another. I mean, they've got committees that they have a committee and did a study on cow farts.
Yep.
I mean, really, and I was saying, I said probably 15 years, 20 years ago, you can ask someone like Grant and stuff. I was saying back then that the global warming was caused by cow farts because India has all those sacred cows and they won't kill any of them. And they're farting up a storm and wandering the streets and releasing methane gas and methane for America, methane for the British and the Australians, in case there's any watching. Yeah, it's methane in everywhere but the United States and Canada.
Right.
So, but anyways, and they won't kill the cows. So think about how big India is, how many cows are wandering the streets over there, and that's creating global warming. It's coming from there.
Yep.
And I said it as a joke, but then they turned around and our government set up a committee to do methane gas measurements, and they set up a study, and they came out, cow farts are causing. And that's another thing. They want to get rid of the cattle because it's causing too much global warming. That means the meat. Get rid of red meat. Everybody turns vegetarian. Once you become a vegetarian, you're lacking the protein that allows your brain cells to work properly.
Speaking of meat, there's somebody, that's on the Biden administration. He wants to eliminate all meat. He wants us to go to plant-based or high-protein
Thanks, Mason.
food.
I mean, yeah. And that's the thing, eliminating meat like that. I hope you get to feeling better, Mason.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the things that I don't like to speak bad of any religion, but certain religions have promoted vegetarianism, and it's a few studies have come out and said that if you don't have a certain amount of meat, or if you don't take the tablets that have the protein in them, it actually affects your cognitive ability. Yeah. And because your body needs that.
Cognitive ability, let's welcome all the way from Gainesville area. Let's welcome Adrian Mateo.
Hey, brother Adrian.
Hey,
how you doing?
Adrian.
Hey, man, I'm doing all right.
Good to have you.
I think the light is literally messing me up.
Yes, you
I need
need.
to turn the
Yeah,
other.
you look
Yeah,
like
it's a
God.
little.
You
I
need
need
to
We
to
know
turn.
you're
concentrate.
impressive.
I need to turn
Yeah.
the other way. So give me a minute.
All right.
Alrighty,
Okay.
that's what she said.
It will make more sense if I turn the other way
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because
Um,
now,
I don't know why you didn't think of that before.
now the light is gonna make me look pretty. There you go.
There you go. All right. That's much better.
There
Yeah.
you
All right. So, like I was saying, how you guys doing?
We're
Doing
doing pretty
good.
good. So give us your 2 cents on whatever we spoke about. Joe Manchin, the southern border, getting COVID again after he already had the treatment and went into hiding for 5 days.
Um, Unfortunately, Art and Lloyd, everybody in the chat, we cannot fix stupid. Unfortunately,
No, that is true. That is
Absolutely.
so true.
I mean, I'm sorry that I have to make it sound like that, but it is what it is.
It is. That's right.
I remember my
Yep.
granddaddy tell me a long time ago before he passed, you can give a horse some water, but you can't make him drink. These idiots
That's
are
right.
literally these idiots are literally losing their fucking mind. Pardon my French.
No, that's
Um,
Mhm.
sound like
the
English to
thing,
me, but
the thing that really pisses me off is even I was watching where they were actually passing that bill. They literally went ahead and passed a bill where they're going to ban assault rifles. And when it comes to
What
me,
is an assault rifle?
when it comes to and what is the definition of a woman? Remember when they asked
Yes.
the lady, has she
yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
they
answered
can't,
yet? And the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, Lloyd and Art, she is a female. So how the fuck are you not telling me what's the definition of a woman?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
yeah, I mean, if they can't define a woman, how can they define what an assault rifle is? You know, if they're not
Mm-hmm.
smart enough to know the difference, they shouldn't even be up there making our laws in the first place. You know,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
the people that elect these idiots is just it's beyond. You know, that's why I was saying earlier. They changed the definition of words to
Yep.
suit their
Mm-hmm.
narrative. You know.
Yep. Assault rifle. It looks scary. We can't have those.
Well, and I think I think the Supreme Court, in one of their newest decisions, it's not unconstitutional to own an assault rifle. It's one of the
Correct.
cases that
Yep.
just so that bill is not, unless they make it a constitutional amendment, that bill is not going to make it. You know, I mean, it's they can try passing. California has done something. I can't remember what it is, but I think California brought in a case and they were trying to limit the size of the magazine. The Supreme
Mhm.
Court says nope.
Well,
There's been a couple.
Colorado did that. They need to talk to Colorado because we're
Well,
limited on the size of the
right,
magazines.
yeah,
And they also changed it to where they gave local control to cities. So now cities could make up their own gun control laws. It
well,
used to be the state
yeah.
responsibility.
Well, unfortunately, there's a few places that these last 3 or 4 decisions just came out in the last week. A lot of states are just now starting to catch they're finally getting the news that hey, cities don't have the right to. And that was one of the lawsuits that the Supreme Court decided on the side of the gun owner. A city was trying to control, you know, the amount of ammo, the amount of the size of the magazine, and the type of weapon, and they said no. The Supreme
Yeah.
Court said that's an unconstitutional law, and so these cities in throughout California and Colorado are just going nuts trying to. They're trying to come up with new cases, but you know, and decisions were made in that big Supreme Court one where they basically what they said with New York. That one set a precedence in which it says, you know, it has to do, it has to do with what is a commonly used weapon in today.
Mhm.
That's
Yes,
what they
that's
decided.
right.
And the AR-15s are a very commonly owned weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So that along with the other decisions they've made is going to completely throw states into total chaos because
Yep.
all of these anti assault rifle or weapons bans and these magazine bans and
Mm-hmm.
these laws on concealed carry, they've all been thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And
Yep.
I was smiling earlier, not because of what you were saying, is what Steve Carpenter on Mike B actually said in the chat. So forgive me, but Mike B is he always have me cracking the hell up anytime he's on my show. So,
yeah, I'm not
but
going to make another color type joke, such as you got your color back or too much white in the background. Yeah.
now, Lloyd, now Art, going back to what we were saying is, for example, this is the reason why I kind of I hate Florida because of the freaking weather when it gets hot, but I love
Right.
Florida when it comes to the gun laws. For example,
Yeah.
in some states, it's illegal for me to have an extended clip on my Glock. Well, I got one on this one.
Yeah.
This one
Mm-hmm.
happens
Yeah.
to be a 17 round. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I got
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
got, and I got one in the chamber. I could literally go into the store with this one, even if it's poking out a little bit. As long as it's concealed, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who
Yeah.
calls who. It doesn't matter. If the cop was to come and talk to me and he asked me for my ID or my permit, I won't even argue. I will give it to him. I will literally
Oh
make it
yeah.
on him. There's no need for me to
Yeah.
argue. There's no need for me
No.
to get into a confrontation with him. I make it
Yep.
uglier and then get myself in some bullshit. You want to see it? I'll give it to you. Here it is. And now,
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I have a wallet that shows I can show my driver's license and my ID, and I had a cop approach. We had a flat tire here last year, and I was carrying and or had a weapon in the car, and he comes up to see if we were okay, and when he comes up, I'm sitting there with my this hand on the steering wheel, and this hand was up at the window holding my driver's license and my concealed carry permit. And
mhm.
I said, just so you know, I am carrying a weapon. I said, but I wanted you to know that. But I already had the window rolled down. I'd already removed the gun and put it in. I said, it's over here in my uh, glove box or my center line or my center console. And I said, I just want you to know I have it so that you know. And so I put the wallet and I said, if you want my driver's license, I'll give it to you. He said, no, no. He says, I appreciate you saying that. He says, you know, that's the way you're supposed to do it. You have
Yep.
that ID. If you're driving, you get pulled over, you have that ID up there and show it to them.
Now,
That
Mm-hmm.
takes the pressure off of them.
correct. Now, for example, I actually got stopped in Stark. I was gonna drop off my kids, and through that area is 35 miles an hour. And it so happened that that evening, the school had a basketball game. I'm sorry, a baseball game. So you know
Right?
what I mean. There were kids everywhere. You know, it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
when I was driving through, there was nobody around. So again, it was 35. I messed around and I went 45. By the
Ah,
time I actually saw the cop, there's no need for me to go ahead and press my brake like because I knew he already got me.
yeah,
So I started driving. Lord and behold, he stopped me. My son, my older son, he was in front of me. He started freaking out because unfortunately, some of his family members from mother side have been giving him a bunch of bullshit about how white cops hate,
yeah,
black kids
yeah,
or black folks
yeah.
because my kids are literally, from a black woman. So I'm trying to tell him, you know what I mean, that is not true. I'm not
Right.
saying that there are not bad cops out there. They are.
There are.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there are bad cops actually all over the world, not just in the US.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
But anyway, I tell him, you need to calm down. You need to relax. And he telling me, what do I need to do? I said, first of all, I even told him that was the time that I literally cussed him. I said, you need to calm the fuck down, son. The only
Yeah.
thing I'm gonna get is either a ticket or a warning. It doesn't matter. We're not going anywhere. The cop came to me. I'm like you, Lord. I have my hand right here and my wallet right here, and I went ahead and pulled it out. I pulled out my permit and my driver's license. I gave it to him, and the first thing he said was, "You are the first person that ever done that. Where you giving me your driver's license and your gun permit to let me know you got one." He shook
Yeah.
my hand. you know how normally they go and check your information.
Right, right.
I don't even think he actually checked it, Lloyd, because it
Yeah,
normally takes a
yeah,
few minutes. He literally came not even 20, 30 seconds after. He said, "Here you go. So do me a favor, please slow down. There's a game going on. Thank you for what you're
yeah,
doing. I appreciate it." He shook my hand and he let me go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I told my kids a long time when they first started driving. I said, "You're going to get stopped." I said, it happens to everybody. You are going to get stopped, and when you do, you're going to treat those officers with the same respect or with more respect than you treat me,
Yep.
because they can put your ass in jail. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so you're going when they pull you over, you say, "Yes, sir. What can I do?" You're going to follow their instructions. That's all you have to do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, eventually, my older son became a police officer and then a police chief. So you know, so and he's the same way. He's laid back. You know, he doesn't. A lot of times, he just doesn't care to. You know, it's not worth writing a ticket for. You know, it's just like, all right, just slow down. I don't want to stand out here. I want to get back in my air
Correct.
conditioned car because it's 105 degrees out here and I'm wearing body armor and all this clothes. Just slow the hell down and go on your way. Have a nice day. Well, I
Correct.
wouldn't do anything wrong. I don't want to arrest you, but if you keep this up, I will have to.
Correct.
So let's just, that's because it's hotter than
Yep.
hell in that stuff.
I,
Just
I,
be nice to
Mm-hmm.
them.
I remember, Lord, this is actually when I was, I think I was 21. Yeah, 21 or 22, Lloyd, going through A1A in Florida, going towards Yulee. I mean, Fernandina Beach.
Right.
It so happened at that time I actually bought a brand new. I was the what kind of car was it? It was the Grand Am. I don't know if you remember that, the little sporty
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
It was like brand spanking new. So you know when you have a brand new car, the giddy up is amazing. So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm driving. The speed limit is literally 65. I'm behind this jackass driving a little Ford Ranger. He going real slow on purpose. So anytime I try to pass him, he speed up. I already know he being an asshole, but I
Yeah.
couldn't pass him. Well, it so happened, Lloyd, that at the wrong time and the wrong place, I gunned it. It was around a curve, and guess who was coming the other way?
Oh, shit. The
A
police officer.
fucking sheriff on a motorcycle.
Oh,
If I did not swerve, I would have literally killed him. You would have never known who Adrian is.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
the cop went ahead and lit me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
My thing was, Lloyd, I automatically went ahead and pulled over because I already knew I messed up. So why would I go on a high speed chase? I'm not gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
so I
You
stopped.
can't you can't outrun sound waves.
Correct. So I
Yep.
stopped. I was on the phone trying to get my girlfriend back then to come to me. He went ahead and came to the window and told me he was pissed. He told me, "Put the fucking phone down, you're going to jail." I put the phone down. I came out. He put the cuffs on me really tight. It hurt like hell.
Yeah.
For about 30 minutes, I didn't say a word. After I apologized, I didn't say
Right.
a word. After like 45 minutes, he came back to me and I said, "Sir, do you mind? Would you please adjust the cuffs?" Because they actually cut it into me and kind of showed him, you know what I mean? That it was
Yeah.
literally cutting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Took him off. He put it back on real nice and smooth. He told me to sit down. I sat down. He did everything he had to do. He went ahead and did all the calling, all that good stuff. He told me, "I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to take you to jail because I cannot find a cage." Those were his words. "I cannot get a cage to come and pick you up. However, I'm not even going to write you the ticket yet. I need you to go and see the judge and explain to him why you did what you did." Now, keep in mind, Lord, I've never had any tickets, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was scared straight by a whole bunch of people saying that the judge I was going to go see, he was the biggest jackass in the world. He's going to put you to jail. I'm crying because I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah.
I go over there and I think I was like number 11, Lloyd. And
Right.
out of 11 folks before me, he went ahead and put 9 people in jail. I thought I was going to be next. When he
Yeah.
called me,
Yeah.
went up there, I was extremely apologetic because I really was.
Right.
I
Right.
didn't know, sir. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I messed up. This is what I did. This is the reason why I did it. And you know what I mean? This and that. He went ahead and told me, "I tell you what, Mr. Mateo, your record is immaculate. You don't even have a warning on your record. That was before I got my CDL. I don't even want to mess your record up. This is what I want you to do. I need you to go to driving school, get the points off your license,
Yep.
pay for that school, come back with your receipt showing me that you paid for it. When you come back and see me. I went back 2 days after. He went ahead that you paid. I showed him the receipt that I paid. I paid it with a cashier's check to make sure that they have
Right.
record.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, a money order.
Money order, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I go over there. He went ahead and called me back again. Back then I was number 30. Out of 30 people, he went ahead and he sent 25 to jail over a bunch of BS. At that moment, my heart is literally pounding hard. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I think this is
Mm-hmm.
my time to go. So then he called me. He shows me, tell me, show me the proof. I showed him the proof. He said, come here. He called me to the front. He didn't even want me to go to the little podium, that you talk. He said, no, come, let me talk to you.
Come to the bench, yeah.
Yeah, come to the bench. He said, I don't never want to see you here again. All I need you to do is, I need you to go back that way. I need you to pay the court costs, pay the ticket, have a good day, and don't let me see your ass in here again. Because if I do next time, you're going to get the same treatment that I get everybody else.
Yeah.
At that moment, I bust out crying like, oh, crap. Like, oh, I even asked him, do you mind if I shake your hand? He shook my hand and he told me, I know how young people like to speed a little bit. You know what I mean? But what you did could have been worse. Because you could have killed my officer. And if that would have happened, Adrian, your ass would have been locked up for a very long time. I shook his hand, he told me, have a good day. And I, went on my way. And that's it.
Oh, Mike B says, sure, if Adrian wants to be
Adrian,
this, we'll have, you know what, we'll have to change the name to three conservative dude.
Three conservative knuckleheads.
There.
And hey, guys, I know that you guys watch a lot of YouTube because we love the YouTube community /drone.
Yeah,
you also do, Art and Lloyd. I've been watching a lot of videos that I get notifications about cops. You know what I mean? That literally have to take actions because some people just don't. I know they know to do the right thing, but they choose the other route.
Right.
I hate watching those videos, but I'll be honest with you, Lloyd. Like you told me, your son is an officer. If I ever become a cop, which I don't think I will because I don't have the patience for stupidity. Because if I ask something,
that's been the hardest thing on my son.
If I ask you to do something real nicely, I'm expecting you to do it, and if you don't, I'm gonna get aggravated. I'm gonna escalate. You know what I mean? Another way. But I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are literally being stopped just for a tail light broken, or your license suspended, or your license plate. You know what I mean? Anything.
Right.
And it ends up being a high-speed chase and then shooting. When you could
I know.
Your ass there, just get the freaking ticket, then go by your business.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had I saw a case, and like you said, you have good cops, you have bad cops, you have some people. I'm in full support of the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner myself. I carry right now. I'm currently carrying a 380 auto, a Smith & Wesson 380 auto. I love it. It's lightweight. It's small. It doesn't take it. And it's actually Judy's, but she told me I could start carrying it. So because my 9mm is a little heavier, but I figure I'm going to be close enough in any sort of situation. A 380 should, if I hit right where I'm supposed to, I should be okay. But after 11 rounds in that 380 auto, if I ain't killed them with 11 rounds, I'll throw the damn thing at them. Maybe I'll hit them with that. But it's. But I see these a lot of these cops that just. We had a situation. I just saw a video of a police officer, a deputy sheriff, has been arrested because he was suspended and then he was arrested because he was charged with assault and battery on another police officer.
Mm-hmm.
He was a sergeant, a 25-year veteran, and he was a police sergeant. He shows up. There's a black guy in the back seat. He crawls in the back seat and starts waylaying him because he had disrespected one of his officers. And of course, the officers are trying to get him out, you know.
Mhm.
And he ends up grabbing, it was a female officer, he ends up grabbing her around the neck.
I'm sorry, Lord, I don't mean to cut you off.
Did you see that one?
Talking about that one because I saw it.
Yeah.
You literally went ahead and grabbed her and said, "Don't you ever
Grabbed her.
fucking hands on me
Touch
again."
me again. Yeah. And that's the kind of cop that, you know, and I saw a lot of the stuff, one of the police officers, and I hear James talk about this a lot, you know, they talk about, you know, they try to watch out for this because at some point it starts, you know, you get lax, you start, you know, and you get hammered so much by people not liking cops that eventually it all builds up. But they try to watch for it, but they miss some, you know.
Mhm.
We have one of my son's officers got into a chase with a guy, and this guy, you know, both of them were big guys, but the guy he was chasing was about twice his size, and he, you know, so he was chasing this guy down. You know, he had 100 pounds on him. He's chasing this guy down. He finally tackles him at the edge of a pond out there, and they were just I think they might have had a warrant for his arrest because outstanding tickets or something. Before it was all over, that guy ended up dying because when James's patrolman tackled the guy, he landed on his chest and compressed his chest. The guy had a heart attack and died.
Oh boy!
It about destroyed that. Matter of fact, that guy ended up leaving the force because he was also a deputy with or a patrol officer with the Warner County Police Department. You know, and he didn't do anything wrong, but it was the fact that this guy ran for him, and what they were going to arrest him on was minor. You know, they just basically had to go in and reset his bond, and he would have been out. Instead, he lost his life because he was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we've got cops that do stupid things. We got cops that do the right thing, and things turn out bad anyways.
Yep.
We got bad guys doing stupid things, or good people that do make the wrong choice.
You know what, Lloyd? This is the reason why I ask you guys: are you guys actually going to be in for a little bit? Because it's so and I say this from the heart. It is so hard to talk to people and trying to get them to understand my point of view without them thinking that because look, I've been called Uncle Tom.
Yeah,
I've been called the N-word, and I've been called a whole bunch of stuff by other black folks because of my beliefs in Trump and my beliefs in the law. Like, I never been to prison, Lord. I've never been to jail. I'm not a felon. And I wanted to keep it that way. But a lot of people tend to tell me that, like, for example, anytime I see a cop, anytime I see a sheriff, anytime I see a FHP or a DOT, Lloyd, I always come up to them and I shake their hand and I tell them, thank you for your service. Be careful. Have a good day.
I do the same. Yeah.
It's been 4 so far that I literally came to them and they literally bust down in tears and they want to give me a hug and tell me, you have no idea. I really needed that. To me, that made my day. That's not being a suck up. That's not being nothing. I'm just happy that somebody doing it because I can't do it. Because if you go ahead and you spit on me, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and you obviously were raised in a. I'm sorry, Art. Go ahead and I'll shut up.
Yeah. Well, we're over time, so
yeah, we are.
So I just want to thank everybody in the chat for coming because people were getting ready to leave. We've done an hour and 15 minutes, which is pretty good. So let's save some of this for next week. Adrian, you did a great job.
Next week, I'm going to be here on time, by the way.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I just had to put my little princess to sleep. She whooped the hell out of me, but I got her to bed.
All right, everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. Last words, Lloyd.
What I always say, be kind, treat each other better than you treat yourselves. Remember, everybody matters, even fat old white guys like me.
All right. Adrian, it's a pleasure to have you have you back.
Absolutely, yeah.
It makes for a great show. So everybody have a great weekend and God bless and see you next week.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Later, everyone.